What you mean we have to pay rent?
I'm sorry. We just need help around here.
You never said nothing about rent before.
Well, now I have to. I need you guys to help out. It's gonna be like $800 for each of you.
Each?
$800.
Yeah, girl, we pay $2,500 a month for rent here.
So you want me to do rent and a bill?
Well, that will include the bill. So we'll just scratch the bill. So the 800 will include help towards the bill.
Where's all this coming from? Because you never mentioned any of this before.
Well, now that he's here, this is.
He? This is your house.
Well, he's moving in.
You never had a problem before.
Well,
I just
now
no.
he's gonna be the man of the house.
I'm not paying rent.
No.
I'm not paying rent.
We know.
It's not even your decision. It's his.
You barely know him. He's been here for like 2 months, and all of a
Stupid.
sudden he's moving in, and then you're telling us that we have to pay rent.
Yes,
800
we're
each.
getting married.
Wow.
This is gonna be our house.
Well, he should be bringing some money. What you mean we have to pay rent?
She talking about he should be bringing some money. You didn't say how. He just did bring in some money. He just brought in an extra 1,600, just like that. Because let's just be honest, like they don't look that young. They look like they may be in their upper 20s. They look like they might be like 27, 28. And they also look like they like to have a good time. Hot girl summer every weekend. And what that can indicate is that they could be blowing their money month after month and not saving nothing anyway. Listen, I like that the mom is in solidarity with her man and she's whatever he wants. Because his responsibility is for her. Y'all aren't his kids. Y'all can go stay with your dad. His responsibility is to make sure your mom is taken care of. And by their reaction right here, if the mom would have stayed single, and if she ever got into any type of bind or anything and ever had to go to them, I think they would have gave her the same reaction. And they'd be like, you just ish out of luck. Like, what you want us to do, mom? So I don't see there being anything wrong with him saying nah. Because see, what I would do is I would just save that money for them anyway. So if they're both paying $800 each, I would just put that money in a brokerage account and let it accrue interest for as long as they're there, because they look like they don't save. I would not be surprised if they're taking trips all the time and they're just blowing all their money like we oftentimes see. So what'll happen is, even if they do eventually move out, they may end up having the potential to have to come back again. So this is also benefiting them to be able to like make sure that when they do move out, when they make whatever savings they have, then you can give them that boost of the savings of what you have, or you can really just keep that money. And if ever they moved out and needed to come back, then you just give them their money and be like, here you go. Don't ever say I never did nothing for you. And you can hedge it like that. But I'm gonna be honest, like I'd probably listen, 800 each, which I'm gonna be real, for a room, that's kind of steep. So that gives me insight into that brother really wants them gone. He wants that to be the deterrent to say, I really want y'all to get up out of here, because if you're gonna pay me 800, you might as well just go get somewhere else and get the full amenities and have your space to yourself. But I wouldn't even save the whole 8 though. Shoot, he can really play it real smooth. He could save 6, put it in the brokerage account each month for each of them. Then you take that 200 and you and the mom get 100 each, but you still keep it, but you do something nice for her with her 100. Maybe you get her a nice bouquet every month with a nice bottle of wine or something. Take her on a picnic or something. She'll love it. And then for you, like for me, I would get some nice cigars or something, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm going long. Y'all, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and actually does help out tremendously. Also, if you could hype, but let's go ahead and get into the next clip.
Definitely not. Child, I'm standing here with my cousin, and she seems to think that if a child is in the household and they are working, that they should be giving 25% of their money for room and board.
Yes.
No, not at all.
Yes.
No, not at all. Yes. Okay, so your daughter is about to be 16. Right. And she's working. Well, she'll be starting working now, right? Right. And you feel like she needs to pay you 25% for room and board. And why is that? Why do you feel like she needs to be paying you rent? This teacher has to be responsible. You cannot stay nowhere for free.
And I love how a lot of these parents in our community love to use it's teaching us to be responsible. That's their favorite line. Thank God I live with my grandma, and my grandma didn't do this to me. But a lot of parents in our community raise their children like...
Listen, now, don't think that I'm about to use the same logic of the first situation to this situation. He said the young lady is 16 years old, and you're trying to take a percentage of her money that she's making. Now, there's no excuse for that. And then she's trying to play it off like she's trying to teach her responsibility. No, you're not. You saw an opportunity, and you got greedy, and you just want it. You want some more money for you to be able to use it for yourself. And you know your daughter's actually bringing in some pretty good money. And let's be real, she probably got jealous of her daughter. Her daughter's probably getting her nails done. Her daughter's probably bringing home Chipotle, living good, going to H&M. And she's like, I want some of that. And that's what it really comes down to. And funny enough, like, you got the LGBT brother, right? And he still got that logic because he's still a man. And he's like, no, that's horrible that you would do that. I would never. And that's how I feel. What's going on? Like, you're really just being selfish. And again, we start to see the mindset like, do you really care about your kids? Like, it seems like you're more for self. And I think that's crazy. You can really just see it coming off her. She just want her money. This is sad, man.
I told him starting February 1st, he's going to start paying $500 a month. And then he's going to start paying his cell phone.
You really got on the internet and said, hey, should my kid pay $500 a month? $500 a month? That's insane. He's 17-year-olds, and kudos to him for having a job to where he's making some bread. But allow that man to stack his money so that when he gets out at 18 years old, he has a leg up on the game. He actually has a little change in his pocket so that when he goes and searches for a place, or he goes to try to go to school, he has some money of his own. Like, I'm so confused. Are you planning to save the money and then give it back to him in the end? Because you didn't give no context. And the way you said that, you sound like you don't like your kid. Maybe he needs to pay attention to that, because I'm sorry, I would never do that to my kids. And I don't have any friends who would do that to their kids unless they're major problem children, which I've seen that happen. But for a regular kid who's just, trying to earn and then also trying to go to school at the same time, what? You are insane. I'm sorry. I can't get on board with this. I might be the one out of sync here, but there's no way in hell I'm charging my kid $500 a month, even if I didn't have it.
I told him start.
Nah, he's not out of sync at all. He's in perfect alignment with what I'm about to say as well, because I'm going to just speak on the Black community for a second, because that's obviously what I come from. And I think it's amazing, right? You meet so many, especially young ladies, who have like hundreds of thousands in student loan debt. And I think it's funny, right? Because in other cultures, in a lot of cases, they have college funds for their kids. But that really doesn't happen in the Black community, where you have a college fund for your kid. So I kind of feel like the least you could do is allow them to be able to kind of stack a little bit and get some type of leg up, because you were already being able to pay the bills without them doing it. Maybe just tell them, they could eat out or whatever, or they buy their groceries or something. But to just be like really charging them rent just to try to get more ahead, instead of you feeling like you're basically preparing them to get out here, I think that's wild. Especially because a lot of times in my community as well, it's one thing you don't got the college fund for them, but you didn't teach them no skills either. You didn't teach them no skills. You just gave them trauma. Because at least if I come from a Latina home, I'm going to know how to work on some cars. If I come from a Jewish home, I'm going to know how to do some accounting, and I'm going to know how to manage some money and invest some money. for a lot of different cultures, you're going to know something. But what we see with a lot of these kids, they get out here and they don't know what's going on. They don't know nothing about the world, but they can tell you what's going on with the 50 Cent and T.I. beef. They'll know all about that, but they can't tell you nothing else about what's going on out here. And then it's like you're trying to charge them more. Listen, I think that's wrong, and I think this brother is spot on. Before we get started on this clip, it says, I charged my daughter rent when she was 16, $200 a month. I saved all that money for her, and when she moved out, I had $12,000 in cash for her. I basically taught her responsibility, and now she's on her own at 28. So that's what she's basically talking about.
Baby, this is not the flex that you thought that it was. At all. And I'll explain why, okay? You stated that you charged your 16-year-old daughter $200 a month rent. Here in the United States, 16 years of age, that means that she's still a minor. She's a child in high school. So in order for you to start charging her rent, she had to have had a job part-time. I know how that is. I started working when I was 14. And I was in high school. And I was still expected to bring home good grades. That is shameful to put that kind of pressure on a child. Okay? I'm also pretty damn good in math. My minor in college was accounting. So if you were charging her $200 a month rent, that's $2,400 a year, okay? Because 200 times 12, that's $2,400. You stated that when she moved out, you gave her you gave her $12,000 in cash, okay? So that tells me that you charged her 5 years worth of rent. Because 2,400 times 5, that's 12,000. So you gave her back 5 years worth of rent that you charged her, which tells me that you charged her that rent from 16 to 21. So she moved out when she was 21. She's now 28 and has never came back home. So she's lived away from you for 7 years.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Some of you really need to think before you start commenting under some of these posts. Because, sweetie, that was not a flex. You just demonstrated the type of parentification bullshit that I absolutely hate, loathe, and despise. Now, I was real nice in regards to my comments. But I can guarantee you other people will not be.
Yeah, at first I don't think I was going to agree with her. But yeah, that doesn't make any sense. 200 a month, and then you still waited another 7 years before you gave it to him. Or I hope you at least told him about it. That's a little too long. Listen, I don't think there's anything wrong with being misunderstood, especially for a man who has to make the hard decisions. Like in the first clip we reviewed, where the new guy was coming into the mother's life and telling the two grown daughters that they had to pay rent. Be the bad guy, because I guarantee you when he gives them that money, when he gives them that $600 that he's been saving month after month, and let's say if they were going to get $15K or whatever, then they'll be happy that he did it after the fact, even though he was the bad guy and they were probably trashing his name all around town. But in this case, based off the context of everything, she waited so long and she held that for so long. I think probably when her daughter was 16, I think she's trying to save face. Like, she's probably in a much better spot financially now. She didn't account for the fact that, listen, you keep going through life. your income potential as well as your stability is just going to get better. So I think now she probably just had 12K to give her daughter. She's been holding that for a while. She's been feeling bad because when her daughter was young, she actually needed that $200. I think the mom actually needed that when her daughter was young. And I think her daughter possibly could have even had some resentment towards her and had been carrying that for a while and been talking to her about it. And then I think she tried to like finesse it and be like, oh no, I had been saving it for you. Nah, you didn't save this for 11 years. And come on now. She needed that money back then. And then now, I think her daughter probably never got over that. And she tried to like not take accountability, is what it was. And then now she's in a much better place career wise. And now she's just like, you know what? I'm gonna give it to her. I'm gonna give her what she gave me, but I'm gonna spin it to make it seem like I did this noble thing. I think that's what's actually going on here. So this woman may be onto something.
Some of y'all are so traumatized about how y'all were raised that y'all are ridiculous. Y'all complain about everything that somebody else is doing with their kids. Anywho, so I came across this post on Instagram of this lady saying her daughter is 15. She just got her job and she's thinking about charging her rent of $75. Now she said the rent I'm not going to use as rent. I'm gonna put it away and save it and then give it to her when she moves out. I think that is a wonderful idea, and I'm actually going to do the same for my daughter. For all my kids, when they get their first jobs, I am going to tell them, yeah, you need to pay rent. Yes, a portion. And I'm going to save it, and I'm going to match it. But a lot of comments are saying yes and match it. That's a great idea. And then you had some people say, why are you lying to her? That's going to damage her emotionally. Or why can't you just tell her it's for savings and get.
And see, that's why if you all haven't been able to tell, each of these situations kind of sound similar, but they all have nuance to it. And so my commentary is being nuanced. And I think her way is a great idea. It's intentional from the start. And this goes back, like I said, you can't fear being misunderstood sometimes when you're trying to do something in someone's best interest. Because if she tells her daughter, this money over here, I'm saving it for you. Now her daughter's just going to spend all the other money that she gets. Maybe her daughter would have been planning on saving anyway. And so she'll have her savings, and then she'll have over here that savings. And then you can use it as a teachable lesson when she moves out. Especially what I would love to do is I would want to invest it and then be able to sit my child down and show them, look, all I did was month after month, put this money away. This amount, $200, whatever it is, look how it grew. Imagine if you can just continue to do that. You were already doing that here. If you continue to follow along this track, here's what it'll look like in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And then you can know that it's going to grow to this amount. And now you don't have, and maybe you can scale it up more, and you don't have to feel guilty when you decide to do nice things for yourself. And you know that you're securing your retirement and your future. So she'll be misunderstood right now, and she'll probably even be hated and despised. But it's worth it in order to basically do that for her daughter who hasn't had enough life experience to really understand and be able to put it in the proper context for the moment. So I don't think that is wrong, but ultimately you can't always know people's intentions in their own head, and that's what kind of makes it a little more nuanced. And it really just comes down to the intention, in my opinion, of what's the intention that you're trying to do, and does that fall within, just human ethics, right, and morals, in my opinion. But we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second. And also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button, then it shows you the points. And since I am a smaller content creator, we actually get more points per hype. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. And then Patreon is linked below as well if you want to see self-improvement content. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.